Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 1st to the 15th, 2024 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out more than you guys could ever know. It gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you so very much for doing so. So, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We are crowned by the Nine of Cups reversed. So there's something that we're wishing for, Aries, but we don't feel like it gets to come forward or we get to have it. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have the Four of Cups. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Lovers, which is also strong Gemini energy coming in. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And we have the Eight of Swords reverse, which is very, very interesting energy coming forward. So we are moving towards something we love. And that's going to be a really big question of this time. It's like, what do I love? What do I want? How do I embrace love? What does love mean for me? What am I looking for in love in my life and for myself during this time? Now, we have a wish, something that we're crossing our fingers for, or that we really hope happens, really hope that we move forward in this direction or that direction. And we're really going to feel as if there's almost a sense here, Aries. There's almost a sense as if maybe I should just stop wishing. Maybe I should just stop hoping or dreaming or putting out intentions into the universe. It doesn't work, right? Other people get their wishes. I don't get mine. It is not at our time, but divine time. And I understand that that's going to tick some people off when saying it, because it ticks me off at times when it's like, okay, how patient, how long, how good do you have to be before what you get, what you want in life, you start to get, like you start to see coming forward. And sometimes spirit just says, stop thinking you know what it should be, and start looking at things and saying, where's the happiness, where's the joy, where's the beauty, where's the love right now? And it doesn't mean we're going to be in love every moment of every day during this time. But it does mean that if I start looking at things of where's the love, where's the beauty, where's the contentment, we can start letting other people's energy coming at us, or stop looking at other people running this rat race of life and comparing ourselves to them and start saying, I'm doing pretty darn well. With the Seven of Pentacles reversed, we're not going to be very patient. Okay, Aries, we're not the most patient of signs to begin with. So just being aware of that, going to just be super important. There's going to be a level of impatience to us. There's going to be a level of frustration to things. We feel like it should be going smoother or faster, especially if we're trying something new. We forget that, you're going to be new at it. You have to be bad at it before you're good at it. With the Four of Cups reverse, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift. We're like, no, I'm over here. This is what I'm looking at, right? I want wishes to come forward this way. I want things to move forward just like this. We're too much in our own ego and in our own word. Word, yes, the word of what I want coming forward. So Spirit's like, no, I got that right, even if you think I got it wrong. When we change our view, when we start to change our mind and change our lives, what's going to happen is Spirit's going to take us out of the world we think we should be in right now. And that's going to really tick us off. So just be mindful about this. We're kind of going to change kicking and screaming and being like, no, it has to be like this. It has to be like this. With the Lovers, embracing the duality of our being, the sacred masculine, sacred feminine aspect of ourselves, saying, what do I love? What am I dedicating myself to? What do I want to spend hours upon hours growing, nurturing, moving forward in? And the Seven of Swords, we're going to be letting go of a lot of lies during this time. A lot of lies that we thought were true, a lot of things that we thought, it has to be just like this. The repeat of the number 7. Okay, 7 is a truth number. 7 is also a seeking number. So we can feel, because both sevens are reversed, we can feel like, oh, I'm not really seeking right now. And Spirit is like, oh man, are you ever? And we're also going to see what lies, like certain things that we had held on to, or we had thought, oh, it's going to be like this, or it's going to be like that. And it's going to start to change. And it's like, oh, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. And we're going to start diving deeper into what our soul is calling us towards. It doesn't have to be an orthodoxy. It doesn't have to be a way we think things are supposed to be. It's going to be a calling of the soul that really guides us and leads us. So let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowflake in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random, and a video will be going up on the 1st of February in bulk actually, which is kind of cool, on the 1st of February. And yeah, so don't be scammed by anybody commenting to you in the comment box or pretending to be me. It will not be me. And keep your eyes open for that video. So good luck to everyone. And if you're interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. We have here centered, reversed. We're not going to be feeling centered. We can be feeling off kilter. We can be feeling like, oh, it should be more like this, or it should be more like that. We're finding our center, but we're not going to be realizing that we aren't centered. There's going to be a sense here of like, oh no, I've got this. I'm pretty good. And then something's going to pull us out of the way that we think things should be. And we're going to see our reaction to that is going to be rather intense. So we just need to be aware of this. Then we have our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is rebirth reversed. Now this is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. And we're going to see that there's a transformation in the very grounding of us, the stabilizing of us, the centering of us. And again, we're going to be resisting it. There's going to be a sense of like, no, it has to be like this, or it has to be like that. And Spirit is saying it's time to let that go. We're Aries energy, right? We're here for a good fight. We are. We're the general of the zodiac, and you need that energy. In that sense of, yes, I know what I'm doing. Yes, I know how I'm moving forward. I have a plan. I'm determined. I'm focused. I'm going. I'm doing. But to slow things down and to say, I'm connecting. I'm seeing myself. I'm finding the way. That's going to be really important as well. Or also, I can turn inward and find guidance. I connect with, source and spirit, the universe, to open up the doors. Even though I don't want to, even though I think my plan is a really good one, we can really find that spirit is going to lead us in the most kind of unbelievable directions, in the most profound ways forward. It brings us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the star. Okay, so be mindful of a bit of delusion, okay, coming forward. This is also Aquarius energy, so we can be having a bit of difficulty with an Aquarius, but be mindful of kind of the dreams of things being more real than the reality of it. So just being aware of this during this time is going to be a really good idea, because sometimes we can say like, oh, I'd love to be in a relationship with that person, right? It would be the best relationship ever, but it's not real. It's all in our head. And that person is always going to be like the best relationship ever because we haven't had it. So just being aware of that, or that would be the best job ever, but we've never done it, right? We're just imagining it. Or that person is so much more talented than I am. Well, we don't know. We're not them. So being aware of this during this time and kind of calling out what our mind is doing to us and saying, okay, well, you know what? We're blowing it out of proportion. We don't know. Let me center back into me. Because people will be more than happy to tell you how glamorous they are, or to share, breakdowns that they have, hurts and pains that they have, but then I've overcome. Or, if you just subscribe here, we can go on this journey together kind of thing, to pull us all in and be like, oh, I'm just like them. So here, it's not looking at carefully choreographed things. It's just looking at the open rawness of who we are and saying, okay, you know what? I'm not letting my imagination take over. We are only stories. That's so important to remember. We are stories. And I think that is the most beautiful thing about this world. We are the stories of the names that we were given. We are the stories of our ancestry, our heritage, our history, our countries, our this, or that. We are stories. What does that story mean to us? How are we telling that story? And we can change the story. We can sit there and say, oh, I'm always a failure. And we can change it to, I'm a seeker and I'm a learner. And I have tried and I have, figured out many different ways of how not to do things as I find the beauty, the perfection, the awakening of my soul. There's different ways to tell our story. And it's going to be so important. It is so important to realize that. And I find that just so exciting. Okay. So let's look at this time astrologically speaking. On the 1st of February, we have the moon in Scorpio squared Pluto in Aquarius. There we go. Aquarius. So be mindful of struggles over power and control during this time. Again, we kind of have this idea of, I know what I want, right? I know exactly how this is supposed to move forward. Let's not get sucked into the drama of things and let's keep our cool. That's going to be really important on the 1st of February. On the 2nd of February, we have Mercury in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. This is maximizing our imagination. We are going to see that our imagination is on point. And this is time to really make time for our creative works, following what we love. This is also, the lovers is also Gemini energy. So Gemini energy, if we have that in our chart, if we have that in our lives, that's going to be really positive for us during this time. We also want to explore new information that's coming forward, but also on the 2nd with Mercury in Capricorn sextile Neptune in Pisces, we need to keep focused. It'll be very easy to be pulled off of focus during this time. We have a lot of creativity around us, and that can also mean that there's a lot of kind of chaotic creative energy around us. On the 3rd of February, we have the moon in Scorpio, sextile Mercury in Capricorn. We need to keep ourselves busy on projects that really entertain, enhance, capture our mind during this time. We need to explore new information, kind of dive deeper into things. We're not going to have the patience for it though, so just be mindful about this. So if we just know, okay, if I want to dive into something new, I can get frustrated very easily, and it'll be very easy for me to throw in the towel. But if I sit there and say, if I figure this out, because we're going to really love a good puzzle. We do love a good puzzle, Aries. If we say, I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to see how I move forward in this connection, this understanding, this diving deeper into, we're going to be very excited about things. It's like, okay, I'm figuring out the puzzle. I'm figuring out how it all works. On the 4th of February, we have the moon in Sagittarius squared Saturn in Pisces. There's little patience for anything requiring discipline during this time. Okay, that added to the fact that already with the 7 of Pentacles reverse, we already have very little patience. Is going to be very important to know on this day. Not very patient. If you have anything scheduled to, like, any big meetings or scheduling to learn new things and everything like that, just know that if you can't change it, if you can't change the date for it, then it could just be a little bit challenging. Take it slow, take it easy. Give yourself time to get things done, and give yourself time to be fair to yourself, during this time. Don't be so demanding. Break through being demanding, because we're going to sit there and just think, okay, if I put more restrictions on me, I'll be able to get it done because I'm being lazy. It's like, no, you're not being lazy. You just have this energetic, field around us right now that's pulling us more towards the lackadaisical or the harder to focus, right? So yeah, we're not going to be patient. So on the 5th of February, we have Mercury entering into Aquarius. Now, Mercury moving into Aquarius, this can also be a little bit tricky for us because we do have that Aquarius energy reverse, brings out sudden insights. It brings out unconventional ideas. It helps us think outside of the box. So we can be kind of resisting that. Again, we have a very kind of strict way that we see things and that we think of things. So just be mindful about this. We need to really kind of bounce ideas off of other people and really work on the plans that we want and like how we want things to change in our life during this time. Mercury in Aquarius is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Focus can be intense and unrelenting. Like, it can be that we are so focused, we are so determined, we are so like driven during this day that it can just absolutely take over. Yeah. So pay attention to the intuitive flashes that we're getting, the intuitive insight that's coming our way, because it is going to help us move forward, because we can be very rigid on the 5th. So just be aware of that. On the 6th of February, we have the moon in Capricorn trine Jupiter in Taurus. Our outlook can be optimistic. We can be focused. We can really see the bright side of things. We're going to see kind of like we're not going to be so Eeyore on the 6th of February. So just be aware of that. It's going to be easier to look on the bright side of things. And we can also come up with new ideas. We can be more receptive to new opinions on things. So that's going to be really rather fun. On the 7th of February, we have Venus in Capricorn trine Uranus in Taurus. Now, changes can improve the way we look at things on this day, okay? And especially the way that we interact with others and our relationships. There's going to be changes that come in. Again, we kind of want things to stay the way that we want them. So when these changes come in, It might take us a minute to kind of go with the flow, but then we'll be very happy that we do. We can open up to new social circles and find new ways to connect on the 7th. That's going to be something really fun for us. So if we're thinking of trying something new, the 7th is going to be a really positive, really good day to do so. Now, Mars is in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces, also on the 7th. And this is going to be us taking the initiative with creative ventures. We're going to find ourselves inspired to act. Our imagination and our drive is really going to be on point, and our intuition is going to be guiding us. Being moved by love, if we meditate on love on the 7th, we are going to find that like kind of magical things happen. On the 8th of February, we have the Sun in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus. And we can be really impulsive on this day. And that's going to be amplified by not having a lot of patience with things, kind of having things going in a way that we hadn't expected them to. So we're going to be like, okay, fine, let's just see what happens. Let's just try it. Let's just go for it. Now, this is also going to be a really great day to get at the heart of issues, which may have nothing to do with what we think they do. So meaning that we might be going and thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to try and do this, or I'm just going to try and have this conversation or try this thing. And all of a sudden, or I'm going to release this energy blockage that I'm feeling that I have. And when we do it, we're going to find that the thing that was holding us back wasn't what we expected. And that's going to be really, really interesting for us. We're going to see causes coming to the surface that we were like, oh. And that's going to be around the lies that we are seeing falling away during this time. It's going to be certain things that we thought, but oh, I thought it was supposed to be like that, or I thought it was like this, or oh, it's not. And that's going to open up doors, and we're like, oh, this is going to be a day. And for some of us, it's going to be an aha day, like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And for others of us, it's going to be like an oh, that's it, huh? Also, not also, but then on the 9th of February, we have the moon in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus. We can be impatient to really get things done, and also to see ourselves improving, achieving, and going after. Maintaining self-control and really being centered within ourselves, that can be difficult. We can really see that centered reverse coming forward. We can see our impatience coming forward. We can be finding it even hard to focus on what we love, because there's almost a sense of, but I thought it was supposed to be this way. And Spirit's like, well, it's going to be interesting what comes forward, because Spirit's like, it wasn't supposed to be. Like, I didn't say it was going to be this way. You just want it this way. And it's going to be okay during this time to see what we want and actually what we're getting to maybe not always align in the way that we thought they would. Yeah. So we're really going to have to really look at our positive change and see what we need to change in the positive to move us forward on the 9th. On the 10th of February, we have Mercury in Aquarius squared Jupiter in Taurus. And if we can take a break, if we can give ourselves time to just breathe, this will be the best day for it, all right? We can feel a little bit lazy, but we need to take time to chill, to center ourselves, to relax, to just be like, okay, I got me. And that's going to be really important. If we can't have time just to be, if we can focus on what we love and then make little times for what we love and say, okay, I'm moving forward in my love, that's going to be a really important thing as well. Just little moments to say, this is love, this is passion, this is beauty for me. On the 11th, we have the moon in Pisces, sextile Venus in Capricorn. This brings more balance into our lives, and we're going to find that things are easier. Like when the balance comes in, it's like, oh, okay, like this is the rhythm. I have the rhythm on this day. So we can be more focused, and we can really look at things in a way that makes us a lot more secure, like a lot more like, oh, stabilized, like, oh, okay, I got this. I see this. I need to move forward like this. Okay. I'm showing up for me, and I'm doing not only my best, but I'm really starting to really appreciate myself. And that's going to be really good for us. Now, the moon on the 12th is in Pisces, conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Now, compassion, empathy, and sensitivity is really going to be high on these days, on this day, on the 12th. So we're releasing a lot of lies. We're going to be seeing ourselves being more compassionate with ourselves than we think maybe even we should be. We're going to be like, oh, I just see this energy of I'm supposed to be pushing forward. I'm supposed to be pushing forward. And Spirit's like, yeah, that's great. But right now, let's take that compassion, that empathy, that sensitivity, and let's shower it on us. Let's move forward in love and in in connection, and let us be understanding to ourselves. And we're going to find that that's very helpful. It's going to help us be patient. It's going to help us look at things in a more, kind of divine alignment than how we had been looking at it before. And we're going to see doors opening for us because we're not trying to push things on this day. And we're also letting go of the way we thought it should be, like what we thought we wished for. And we're finding ourselves moving in a direction where it's like, oh, wow, I never expected this. But it's kind of awesome. On the 13th, we have Mars entering into Aquarius, and this is big for us. Now, we do have the Aquarius energy reversed, so it might not be as easy a transition, but we are ruled by Mars, so that's important. All right. And Mars is the planet of energy and drive, and it enters into Aquarius. And this brings enthusiasm, motivation for change, and also for the future, and also the unconventional. We're looking at things and saying, well, I can go outside of the box. And that's interesting because Aries, we are the general, right? The Aries energy, Mars energy. Aries is another name for, or the Greek name for Mars, the Roman god of war, and Aries was the Greek god. And what's so interesting is you would think, okay, we would be more unconventional, like the first sign in the zodiac, the younger sign, but generals usually aren't unconventional. They very much follow the rule book because this is how it's done and this is how it needs to be done and this is how we're going to do it. So when this unconventional energy comes in, it can throw us a little bit for a loop. So just be mindful about this. We're stepping towards our dreams. We're embracing the unusual. We're looking at things and we're really thinking outside of the box, which can be very exciting, but it also can have us a little bit nervous because we're like, I like things to be tried and true and tested out, right? I like the instructions. I like seeing how things work. I like seeing how things are put together. And that's really important. For an Aries, that's really important for us. So just be mindful about this during this time. And if you're saying, no, that's not really me, then you might take after more of your moon or your rising. Those energies might come forward more. But for an Aries, we kind of like the tried and true. We do. We do. There's something to it that's just very appealing. All right, Venus is in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. Our relationships can benefit from a gentle touch during this time. Like just being kinder to ourselves we're going to find that our relationships with others improve. Being kinder with others, just kind of like mellowing it a little bit. That's going to be a really good thing. Not being so like reactionary, but also intense. That's going to be important. Really meditating on love, letting sweetness come over you. There's just a sense of like, how do I move in love? How do I embrace my heart? Like, what would I love? Like, and just, yeah, which is interesting because we're moving towards the 14th of February, right? The next day is the 14th, and that's Valentine's Day. And whether you celebrate Valentine's Day or not, it's, kind of the I love you day. And that's what my nephew calls it. And I think that's adorable. And here, there's going to be the sense of like, how do I say I love you to myself, to the world, to the energy around me? And we're seeing that on the 13th. And then on the 14th, we have Mars in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. And the future can be much more important to us than we realize on this day. And we can really feel motivated to take action. We can be passionate about things. We're really going to pursue transformation and really, catapult our dreams forward, really see ourselves going after what we want. So the I love you day is like, how do I shout I love you to myself and have it echo off the universe, like have it echo into my realm of existence. On the 15th, we have the moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. This can be a time of change. It doesn't have to be huge change. It could be small change, but it's going to be powerful change. We are really working on what we want to change in our lives, what we want to see, how we want to, move things forward, and how we can make things happen for ourselves. So that's going to be really important. If we come during this time with the message, there we go, of I love you to ourselves, that's going to be a game changer here. That's going to move us forward in a way that we hadn't realized we needed. That's going to help us see ourselves in a way that we hadn't seen ourselves in a really long time. If we can make the first half of February a love note to ourselves, not a, egotistical, maniacal, type of thing that people, get narcissistic about, but just the sense of I love you. I'm making time for what is sacred for you. I'm moving forward in the energy that is beautiful and powerful for you. And the doors are opening. That's going to be the game changer. And we're going to start seeing ourselves more and more and more. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, not mindful of, but our subconscious spirit energy is prosperity reverse. And that is to be mindful of. When prosperity is reversed, we're not seeing ourselves as prosperous. We're not seeing ourselves as bountiful. And so spirit is saying here, why? because we aren't centered, we aren't focused, or we're focused and what we're focusing on isn't what spirit wants us to be focused on. So we kind of have to step back just a little bit during this time, Aries. Our subconscious chakra message is divine wisdom. And this is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is divine wisdom raining down on us, moving us forward, knowledge, insight, ideas, guiding us in a direction and in a way that we hadn't imagined or didn't know we needed. It brings us then to our energy to be mindful of. And this is the moon reverse. This is Pisces energy, which is reversed. So we might not be, if this is in our chart, this part of our personality is going to be a little bit more caustic, a little bit more grating to us. So we might not be, really vibing with this energy very well. So just be aware of that. If Pisces energy is in our life, we can find it frustrating for one reason or another. If we're born on the cusp with Pisces, it can be the same thing. We're like, why is this frustrating, But we're also looking at a lot of fears that have held us back, a lot of doubts that have kept us from moving forward the way that we need to. And this is going to be a time where, again, when we start to look at those lies, we start to look at things and say, why was I even holding on to this? We start seeing ourselves in a very different way. And it brings us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Two of Cups, the minor arcana lovers card. Subconsciously, there's something that's going to present itself in our lives during this time where there's going to be a healing, and yet we're resistant to it. Now, it can be that we're perfectly happy in our anger. I'm not going to forgive this person. I do not want to. It's unforgivable, and that's not going to happen. And that's fine, and that is absolutely all right. But Spirit's like, why are you taking away your blessings? You're not punishing the other person. Even if the other person's like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset. You're not punishing the other person, you're punishing you. That energy is going into you. It's really not affecting them the way that we think it is. With the Two of Cups reversed, there's something during this time. It can be with another person, it can be with ourselves just completely, where we're not forgiving ourselves. We're not taking in the healing that the universe is offering. And Spirit's like, why? Why are we denying ourselves something so beautiful? All right. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.